12 minutes.
You can take 1.5 minutes to 1 minute to 1.5 minutes to explain your view, right? Then you can continue. After 1.5 minutes, you also continue. There is no bell in between. Fine?
No, fine.
And then 1.5 minutes for you. Fine? Yeah. So it's 5 minutes probably. The whole introduction is over. Then you could take some 5 minutes to fight.
Introduction about subject.
Yeah.
The topic is told.
The topic is
Western modernity versus Indian culture.
Yeah.
So you present the subject in a minute, and then after each one of you done, you will get out the subject.
huh?
Western
Western modernity,
Is one
and
side.
we have Bharatiya culture, right? You must say there is a. You could say that there is a conflict, or could you say that it supplement each other. You could say somebody can take that together. You make your point. You should stand in one place. What is that view you are going to make? So you should say this. There is no conflict. It could be something. It all depends on your view,
Yes, your view.
right?
Or one is better than the other.
Yeah.
Your choice.
Or maybe you can have a balanced view, but when somebody opposes, you could decide what is that you want. It's all up to your strategy. But you should have some strategy. At the end, we must understand you are standing for this, you are standing for this, you are standing for this. Right?
You can be on your own.
Yeah.
Be comfortable. Be cool.
And the end, we will ask you a conclusion by each one of you, one.
For a minute.
I think
Yeah.
now we are through, no? We are clear?
You can start.
Western culture in versus India.
Done?
Anything
You have
else?
last 1 minute to speak.
Yeah. Anything you want to conclude?
Conclude.
What is your view?
My view is come
Okay.
to
Okay, you have nothing else. You tell me what, according to you, what is culture definition?
culture means which is followed for since generation to not to disturb to other. This is called culture.
Okay. You have 1 minute to conclude. What is culture according to you?
Culture is, as he said, what we are following from many years. Like if our state, in my family, in our state, if we do the festival of Basant Panchami or Nag Panchami, that is our culture. What we are following from years today, that is our culture.
What
We
is the
should
difference
follow.
between tradition and culture?
Yeah.
Tradition, I guess, that's the dress or the clothes what we wear, or the language what we speak.
Okay. You.
Sir, according to
I think
me-
you said too much, but okay.
According to me, culture is the respect that we give to our elders.
Actually, culture is an intellectual pattern of behavior which we follow today. That's what is called culture. All of you have mistaken culture by tradition.
Yeah.
You understood? See, always, I think it's done, right? So, what is exactly required when you come for any discussion or any interview? Look at word meaning, dictionary meaning. Understood? So, when you speak, culture has to be different from tradition. It has to be different from heritage. You all get mixed up. And we have only West. He brought in Middle East also here. And we said biggest airport. Immediately I will ask him, you could have, if I would have been in your place, I will ask him, tell me which is the biggest airport. He will be finished there because it's not in West, it is in Dubai. The biggest airport in the world is Dubai. The number of people who uses the airport is Dubai. So he can be finished off with 1 point, you could finish him. But you are not using your brain, you are not thinking. You understood?
You are confused.
The discussion is to be present there rather than thinking about what you are going to say next is how do I.
He has
how
lot
do I
of points.
Take from him.
He has
and
lot of
take
points, but he himself got mixed up.
Yes.
So you are supposed to catch him.
How do you
The
stop
other
it?
issue
How do you
is
stop
you
it?
cannot use
Understood?
unparliamentary words when you are mentioning certain people.
India,
More emotional you are.
Yeah.
now India has got good tradition.
Yes.
India had good heritage. You understood the word which I am using? India had good heritage. India has good tradition. But India culture is changing
Yes. Somewhere.
because of the Western modernity. Western modernity is fantastic. We are much worse probably using the technology. Do you know,
Yeah.
all of us may have WhatsApp. I was in US for last 6 months. You ask most of them in a common place, only 1 or 2 will have WhatsApp. They will use once in a week. You think that Western people are more addicted to technology. It's totally wrong. Indian people are more addicted to technology.
Addicted.
Or
Addiction is there.
Addiction.
They use technology.
negative.
You understood what I'm saying? Each word is very carefully used. Indians are addicted. 54% of Indians have connections, out of which maybe 50% is addicted. There, 100% has got connections, but maybe you will see 2% also must not have got addicted. So our problem is anything which comes new, we grab it. So modernity from West is good, but we have a basic culture. Anything is close to our heart, either good or bad. We accept it very fast because we are blind. We think everything is good in the world,
Except in us.
right?
Yeah.
And therefore
True.
we start grabbing. That grabbing is what is, they are very, very discriminative. They don't even talk to people so easily.
No.
If somebody calls you, they will think whether I have to go, I have to respond or not. We have no suspicions. We accept everybody. We think everybody is good.
That's why they have exploited us, sir.
No, don't. They never exploit it. If somebody has
Yeah,
exploited us, it is our weakness.
Our weakness.
Our way.
And when you talk about culture, suppose Bharatiya culture, if you are talking in terms of tradition or heritage, we have Babylonia, we have Mesopotamia, we have Greek. Tell me, where is it today? Nothing is existing. There is only one nation which is still holding it. That's India. We have not lost. Still we have priest who is chanting mantras in the temple. Right?
Yeah.
Which is chanted maybe millions of years back. So we are keeping our heritage. We followed it as a tradition. Still we have that culture. Don't say that we don't have.
Even Indians residing
Yeah.
abroad, they still follow our traditions.
Got it? See, most of us still go to temple. But what is lacking? We had a rational thinking which we are not putting into our real thoughts, which would have been rationally justified. We are not able to justify most of them. That is because we didn't document, we didn't had good teachers. We have, all of them are teachers without having sense sometimes. Right? We don't have a real structured way of teaching us. That is why our culture has been different. We accept most of the things because we don't question them. That's where we lost our links probably to the tradition and heritage. Got it? And we are using all the most modern technology to preserve all the documents today. The Vedas became so popular, Sanskrit learning became so popular, all the mantras became so popular because we are listening that from all the medias today. So we have a advantage of using Western technology for our best purposes.
Sir, but they have used it more effectively, sir. You said about Vedas, right? Any university in India for a PhD student, have they made it mandatory to learn Sanskrit?
Which university where in Germany Sanskrit is made mandatory? Tell
Sir,
me.
there are 12 universities.
No, tell me which university.
UK.
Tell me one university name where they have made Sanskrit mandatory.
Sir, this, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what
That is what-
you understood how
Yeah.
that is how. But I will tell you, this is where you should stop. You know how many Indian universities have Sanskrit as PhD? Most of the universities, 350 universities in India has Sanskrit departments. Even in India we have.
Yes.
We have Sanskrit universities
Yes.
in India.
Yeah.
We have Tirupati, we have Sanskrit university, yeah? And where you can write thesis only in Sanskrit.
Only in Sanskrit.
Germans have got Sanskrit learning, but they learn in English.
Two villages.
There is a
one
difference.
Near Shimoga
They speak only Sanskrit.
and
Oh,
Karavana.
We have been following Sanskrit news in our Doordarshan for how many years? You tell me. Yeah. Sampati Vartaha Suyantha. Everybody knows at least this. You understood? So, You see, don't just listen to somebody who says and then use it in your.
It is not somebody, sir. It was told by Swami Shitkandananda Ji Maharaj.
See, better he is not an authority in education system in India.
Yeah.
Don't listen to some Swamijis who are blind with their own views. They see you said universities. You know how many universities we had when Britishers left India? How many colleges we had? And today how many we have? How many people were getting educated and today how many people are getting educated? What is the percentage of literacy in India when Britishers left? It is 6%. Today it is 74%. Talk about percentage, you know. When you talk about percentage, you know the difference.
Irrespective of the population growth, we are paying
Yeah.
in the education system.
See, our strength is our population. Our strength is our population 3 times or 4 times. But our weakness is our population once.
We
Yes,
don't use
also
the
population.
population.
You understood? You talked about people are not coming to leadership. Correct?
Yes.
India has got 59% of youth. Maybe this election, this remuneration will prove it much better. But 50% is less than 25 years of age. But 25 years of age, people cannot contest in election.
Yes.
You can vote at the age of 18, but you cannot contest election. Why? Youth has to strike for this. We are 50%. We want to be in parliament 50%. Less than 35 years, we have only 2% MPs, member of parliament.
No, how many?
We less than 45 year, half of the life. If the eldest senior most person is 90 years, we have 45 years. Less than that, we have only 20% MPs, member of parliament, the whole India. So that means 20 years of politics is also not making them to be part of the parliament. You understood? So that is where the youth power has to come, which was not part of Indian culture. Indian culture, people came to power when they were 7 years old. We had princes and kings who were ruling this
12 years.
12 years. We had kings.
They were very.
So what we are losing is, we had a tradition, get back the tradition, that should be the youth power. You can mix all of them together.
No, I think first step is.
And education
how many of
system,
know
you
your
had a context,
leaders,
you were telling education system, we have different syllabus, we had a problem.
See, standing outside the system and questioning it is very easy.
Yes, sir.
No, that is not true. Then Gurukula Vidyabhyasa Sampradayam, everybody was like an autonomous university. Every guru can decide what syllabus he wants. That's the best system in India. That's why we say diversity is very good. And one way you are saying mother tongue has to be there, other way you are saying the syllabus is different. Every system should have their own different local syllabus. Flexibility. That is the strength of India. See, we have everything mixed. Everybody can learn everything. But to grow internationally, you must have good language skill. That's English. And English can be learned much faster by Indians than any part of the world. The native speaker English and probably the non-native Indian speakers are equivalent to them. That is why Vivekananda could be on the stage, and then all the Britishers really, his English is so fabulous. Nobody could tell him that he is not an Englishman. So we have that ability. So learning another language should be our strength. You know what was called, those people who don't understand our language were called mlechas. That's a Sanskrit word, mlecha. But we started thinking mlecha is someone who is untouchable. And Indian himself, we say that he is a mlecha. So we have misinterpreted most of the things in terms of language, in terms of knowledge, in terms of education, in terms of culture. And our biggest problem is we start quoting somebody whom we like. Don't quote people whom we like. Quote textbooks really. Now when you mixed Veda, Purana and Upanishad, biggest mistake. Vedas and Upanishads are together. Purana is only story. It is never mixed with Vedas. If somebody says Veda, Purana and Upanishad, that means he did not understand all this together. You understood? It's like you are saying idli and noodles and chutney. It doesn't go together, right? Idli and chutney can go together. Noodles don't put in between.
No, even if you listen to somebody, fact check, come back and do your own study on it.
Do and understand, segregate them, separate them point by point. You are
Take
good,
the best.
you are good,
Take
all
the
of you are
best.
good.
Take the best. All of you are good.
You're at a good start.
Good start.
Probably you must have heard lectures, but you must have not analyzed like this.
That is very important.
Analyze and write down. And you should keep writing. That's what is most important. See, from you also I learned, I wrote. I made my notes today. I have got notes from everywhere. I record it for my own learning. That's what I do. I am not facing to me. I am facing to you.
You have a thesaurus also to get correct meaning of what words.
And the span and discipline.
Yeah.
I was teaching Bhagavad Gita in US. We start at 10:30, sharp 10:30. 1 o'clock, even if I am between the sloka, I will stop. Because that's what they expect us to do. Got it? It's most important.
Respect
Attention,
for time.
respect
Respect
for
for
time.
time.
Yeah. Madam.
Your turn. Take it.
Sir, one thing, sir.
Yeah.
But you said we have to learn English, right? But learning that English only is a time process for us, right?
That's actually a wrong concept.
Yeah.
Because we don't learn English. We are only learning literature. You are not learning language. Language learning finishes in LKG, UKG, which I have not done. I only started learning English in 5th grade. Menon? Yeah. We never had English in our childhood. That's up to 4th grade. We all learned. But now we repent for that because my son speaks better English than me. Got it? And I don't think learning something with the children are not filled with a lot of, no, 200% busy. In the whole life up to 10th grade, if you look at the time which you have spent for classroom learning is less than 2 years, up to 15 years. So you have ample of time to do many other. And I find it very difficult to teach mathematics today. I am a mathematician. Very difficult to teach mathematics in Malayalam because it translated things into the worst language which never we can think of. So there are people who are language specialists, they say that we want to translate everything. Once you translate, we don't even understand. You don't understand Telugu, but you understand English much better, I'll tell you. Will you be able to explain all the articles here and items here in Telugu? So you know English much better than Telugu. I know English much better than my own language. I can write poetries in English much faster than writing poetries in Malayalam. I'm a good poet. My thoughts are better expressed in because I read lot of English literature than Malayalam literature. Because we have all the Malayalam literature put together cannot be that this can fill this room, that's it. But all the English literature can fill this whole college. So I have a larger world open to me. I have to use it.
This is not a discrimination.
If I don't use it, I am a fool.
Yeah.
And assume I have to use an Indian language, probably I will prefer Tamil. Because Tamil can fill this half of this building. Because Tamil is that rich. But that is much more difficult than English probably. Got it? Because we have to recognize the beauty of the whole world. But always say that, even there are Amitabh Bachchan in this world, I will still say my father is great. Amitabh Bachchan is only second to my father. Right? So we have to have respect to our parents, our culture, but don't degrade anybody else.
Respect them. Respect.
They have their, because culture is what they practice. Their culture is very good. You understood? Noodles is very good, but the problem is when Indian make noodles, it will not be good. Idli is very good, but Chinese make idli, it will never be good. You understood? Therefore, what we should do is
one point
raise
there
up.
is also equivalent noodles in India, in
Yeah.
Kerala we have.
Yeah.
Nulputtu.
Made of rice.
Rice, nulputtu.
Yes.
Understood?
Nulputtu. There is a rice noodles.
Yes.
It is rice noodles.
Rice
It's available
noodles.
and it is a very delicious and very.
Yes. And it is very
Which
fresh made.
is 750 rupees for a single piece in ITC, Kakatiya.
The point is,
Like pasta, you should realize that from
Yeah.
China, pasta or wheat came to India, and from India it went to Italy. So pasta came here first.
Which tries to is the way that we think. Does it influence the way?
See, any language, when you start thinking in your own mother tongue and translate, you will become a failure. But nobody does it. A good writer, good speaker. Now I am not thinking in my mother tongue Malayalam, and I am talking in English. Right? Even if I have to do it in Kannada or Telugu or Tamil, I speak all these languages. I am not thinking in that, in my language and translating. Then I become a failure.
So when
అట్లా రాదు. మీకు మాట్లాడాలంటే ఏ లాంగ్వేజ్ కావాలో ఆ లాంగ్వేజ్లో ఆలోచించాలి.
yes sir.
అర్థమైందా?
The same thing even that sir also told sir. He was a German professor. So I just asked him that why is it like that. He just said me that if you think like a Britisher and learn German.
It's not true.
Sir,
I don't.
I have one doubt. Sir, when speaking an idea, you are delivering an idea. It's come from two next and in brain, or you can speak then and there only.
No. See, when you speak, if it comes from brain, you are a failure. It should come from heart.
Heart.
But Westerners don't have heart. They have only brain.
It is not
Okay.
physical heart.
You should have feeling.
Yes, the feeling.
That
You
you
should
are
have.
feeling.
That is why I have got a poetry which says open heart surgery.
Yeah.
I was surrendered to an open heart surgery and I say, doctor, don't open my heart because there is lot of secrets inside.
Even the heart, sir, even the heart, the information comes from.
See, I'll tell you, where is your mother's picture? Is it in the brain or in the heart? If it is in the brain, when you see mother, you will think, oh, this is my mother. Or immediately the response comes, right? That is because it's in your manas.
The point is, he has taken the word meaning to that.
He-
Only heart means,
It is in your manas. That's why there is no translation for heart to manas. Manas
If
is,
you ask, people will think that
where do you keep
are
your girlfriend?
on your left side.
Where do you keep your girlfriend? In the buddhi or manas? Tell me. Eh?
okay, or whatever you feel very.
See,
very
whichever is
to
close to you, but where do you keep your subject knowledge? You are keeping in the brain. See, now I am talking. I have been put under electroencephalograph. That's a machine to test the brain function, vibration. Found that DrTPS doesn't have brain at all. It's not working. Because I speak from my manas. That's in Bhagavad Gita, center of Bhagavad Gita, Uddhared Atmanatmanam, Atmanam Avasathayet, Atmaiva Hyatmano Bandhu, Atmaiva Ripuratmanaha. Atma, 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 repeated. It has got different meaning in different context. My manas and my Atma has to be same, mixed together. Don't use your brain to think. Then you will not be genuine. Got it? But we are more logical with the brain. That's where data is kept.
Then how do I think?
Yeah, that is what is practice. That is why we keep thinking you have to be intellectually sharp, but spiritually higher. When you become spiritually higher, he become Atmiya Purusha. Atmiya Purusha means his Atma works. Where is Atma? Hridaya Guhara Madhye Kevalam Brahma Matram. Inside your Hridaya there is a Brahma. That Brahma becomes Atma Brahma.
Okay, I have one more doubt, sir. Why does is this Janma come and what purpose I am doing here and what is the question?
Exact answer we will tell in the other world. When I die, you will also die. We can explain it there.
Fine. Now, the other also, you have any question or any doubt, you can ask.
I have a guru called Nitya Chaitanya Yeti. To him, one of the disciples asked the question. This is how he answered. So I have to repeat what he said. That's it. Because we have no answer for that. These are all like an axiom in mathematics. We presume something and start talking.
Sir, another in the education system, why they are not put in syllabus copy as a Bhagavad Gita and Quran? This the religion
See, there is lot of difference. We had all these in the Gurukula Sampradaya. Everything was taught. Psychology was taught. Biology was taught. Even Upanishad had got your most modern microbiology also. Yena chakshusha ana pashyanti, yena chakshusha pashyati. This is a definition of microbiology. Okay. Yojananam sahasre dveshade dveja yojane ekena nimishardena kramamana namaste. These are all sloka. But this is velocity of light. Physics was taught like this. So, science was part of our slokas. But what happened was, most of the people did not understand this. So, they thought these is slokas and bhajans without understanding what is the meaning. Most of them are science.
And also another thing was there was
Understood.
political requirement.
And the English education came. They started teaching all these in their language. So all of them started moving there. Otherwise, we had the definition of Vimana is much best explained in our. No, we had a dictionary of missions, which has got different missions. What is your background? Physics? Little bit physics? Spectrometer is explained. Dvandapramapakam yantram. Trimsha samyuktam tamo bheda pradarshakam. Dandapramapakam yantram tamo bheda pradarshakam. Definition of spectrometer. But you don't understand, many people don't understand today because we have not learned it. But that is still there, but that is not the exact spectrometer which you have. We are not developed from, see, when we first made a telephone, it was too big, heavy. From that modernized situation, it came here. Most of our technology was good, but it's too big. To make it into a smaller item, you need a lot of research to be done on that. That's not done in India because we lost track. It is not because of Britishers. It is just because of Kalidasa started explaining the beauty of ladies and all that, and all the poets have changed from science to beauty. Therefore, the poets became non-scientists. Earlier, all poets were scientists. So it's not Britishers. Much before that it happened. Much before Britishers, Mughals came here. So we always find fault with the Britishers, Western, bad. We have Mughals were the first one before Dutch came. Right? All of them came not because India was bad, because India was good. But we lost. Why Nalanda did not continue? Because we lost our own professors there. We didn't have. Even before Shankara, we had Jainism and Buddhism. Correct? So that also has mixed up most of our culture. Because somebody said this is not Veda what is to be taught. Buddham Sharanam Gacchami. One is enough. So everybody left Veda and started going behind them. So this is, nobody is wrong. We cannot find fault with our grandparents. No Muslims are bad. Because they were all our great grandfathers' friends who converted and got them. If I say they were bad, that is as good as saying my great grandparents were bad. They got converted. Understood? Not they, the gents. The ladies converted. They only gents came here. They married ladies here. So the children became, they were all our sisters. Correct? See, religion keeps growing. India is a system where we absorb everybody. There can be 100 religions. But what is lost? The Chinmayananda Swami, somebody asked, many people are converting to other system. See, our problem is not many people are converting. Are the Hindus learning what is Hinduism and understanding what is here? They are not. That is our problem. So don't find fault somebody goes. Don't worry, let them go. Even if they are here, they will not be good for us. So better let them go. But those who are here, are they ready to learn? They are not. Why are they going? Because church looks much beautiful than most of the temples today. One of the filthiest, dirtiest, untidy, not cleaned place could be temples. Correct? Why? We don't go and clean. We only make them dirty there. The other day I was in Bhadrachalam temple. So worst, all the volunteers were fighting each other. We were all waiting for the darshan. We are not seeing anything else. Volunteers are fighting each other. That's what I am seeing. It will never happen in any other place. There is a hierarchy. Total silence, total discipline. It's not there. Unfortunately, I didn't have a recording machine. Otherwise, I would have recorded. You understood? So we don't listen to somebody. We don't have that. No, obedience is not there. That's where we lost. We are not ready to learn. You had good questions. Yeah, we should wind up. Fine? Good. You are all interested. You learned a lot of things. And I'm sure this preparation itself, you must have referred. But always when you refer, look at facts and figures. When you say date, university, which university? Ask that question.
Book. Which book?
Which book? You translated something from Sanskrit. Which book you referred? You understood? Which stanza you translated? Without reference when you speak?
Cited, know the number.
Yeah, know the number. At least that Sanskrit sentence if you say
Yes.
and then translate, that's good enough. Because I am interested to know where is it. Not for questioning, to learn. That's what. Okay,
You
good.
had a very nice opportunity of one-to-one. He takes the classes with 150 students. At least you had a very nice opportunity of having one-to-one. That was nice. In fact, this is one of the best one which I feel. As I think we will conclude and then
So good luck.
it is.
Buddha, SP.
Madam is Sri Godavari probably I didn't have your profile. You can just if you don't mind. Because you are very nice.
Yeah, very nice.
You can sit and then
No problem,
no issue.
no problem. Yeah, I'm Godavari. I'm basically now I'm an educationalist and counseling advisor for students and family, relationship management, things like that. I worked for HAL, Hyderabad Balagokulam, took realist. Presently I'm doing all that. And more than anything, I'm more interested in spiritual aspects. You know, we are going away from our roots. What is Bharatiya Tattva or Hindutva, whatever word you may use and all that we are lacking. The parents have time, the grandparents have time. We are running like rats. For what reason? Nobody knows why we are running. And where we are running, what we are going to achieve, all that is lost because of multiple reasons, not a single reason. So we are trying to get back all that and have a total identity to ourselves first and to the country and to the youth. So all these gentlemen, everybody, like a drop in the ocean, are contributing and spending their time to give something to you all. And you are at the receiving end and you should take the best of what everybody is giving and become a very good citizen, and tomorrow you also should contribute. Apart from earning, making your life, you take from the society. Try to give back very little to the society. That is what I can just tell you now. Okay?
Thank you, madam. I think madam, we can also make sense.
Yeah.
You can be there, madam.
No, yeah, then fine.
Yeah, I'm Samhita. I'm part of an organization called Pragya Bharati, which is an intellectual platform. I think most of you would have heard of it. I'm also studying. I'm finishing my CA finals and doing my first in my law also. I'm part of a lot of nationalistic and cultural organizations that bring in nationalistic view and also take in our cultural ideas on the same platform and just building Bharat, the way it was, bring back and make it useful again. So I've been invited here, so I'm just happy to be part of this.
Thank you, madam. Dr. Shashikuma,
Dr. Shashikuma prepared space.
and in fact, he is going to be our one of the keynote speaker on
Met students like you more than 8 lakhs. Maybe teachers more than 5 lakhs.
So that is how you see you can. But you doesn't say
I
that.
was with Pragya Bharati.
Fine, okay.
Chaudhary was part of it.
You see, you should be a honest person, but the amount of knowledge and information,
Yeah.
fantastic. Thank you. Sir, see, when I talk about sir, no, he is 82 years old. You please imagine,
Yeah.
where are we? But still, you please see, by 9:15, he is here.
Yes.
He is our inspiration. At this age, with this sort of thing, that is exactly the point. Sir, your time.
My name is Hariharan, the easy name to remember. I can recall one of the very good figures of the country. He was born in Japan and brought up and educated in Bombay. It was in 1959 when I heard about Vivekananda bringing such a eloquent competition in my college. The reason I was blank. I am 1959. Okay. And somehow or other it was embedded in my brain about Vivekananda. Year before last I went to Chicago, I went to the place where Vivekananda had uttered the gathering and the conversion. There is a Vivekananda street also in Chicago. Very important. If all of you will go there and visit this gathering. Again, the question of Vivekananda somehow or other comes into me very often. And on 150th anniversary, in our dance was gathering about 1,000 people. I made up as a Vivekananda and walked for the banner to
Oh,
say,
how nice.
nobody came able to listen to me. Actually, many of the people who had attended that, they still call me as a nickname of Vivekananda. Anyway, I am only trying to tell you as to the impact of what Vivekananda's teachings can create in anybody, not only for students or youth, for anybody as a human being. As a socio-cultural activist, I also think that necessary for us to emulate whatever examples have been taught by him. And don't be carried away by the number of people you have, but I get your interest in the topic, and that itself is great. You know, as participating in the competition is more important than the winning or prize.
Yes.
That's good.
I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, I think we are ready. Ali, come. We will also introduce you. Come. He is Mr. Harikrishna, the very young, dynamic, very young at this young stage. He is also the general convener, but he is Harikrishna. He is also the general convener for this the whole Krishna for that. He is also connecting all of us to the things, and then we have Rangadharaji, who is a retired assistant from ECI, ECI, as a DGM, and he is also, as he said, spend a lot of time. He is retired like so we have a young group of young and then of course combination and
then how will we teach the students? This is also and introduce the spoken English institute also. We are because of all the literature in English mediums only. Those who are done in Telugu medium, they will not be able to understand. And various wherever I have got knowledge, I teach in English. We have got in Usmania University where I go and at home in summer level. Then coming to introduce the creativity technique. If you come anything knowledge from by thinking itself only, this is the creative technique. Then many scheme has been introduced in India level, but they may not be able to proper. Then what purpose they are introducing, I don't know. And finally, I would say one word. If you want to learn whatever the result will never forget. With this, I conclude this. Thank you for giving this opportunity. Thank you.
Once finished, they can see the result.
Thank you.
അതിപ്പോ പറയുകയാണ് നമ്മളത് പറ്റി പറയുക
Hari.
Second. Introduce yourself.
Good morning everyone, my name is Nisha Singh from Hyderabad College of Commerce and Arts and I am pursuing BCom Computer. This is my final year. So before I actually get into the topic, I would like to start with a quote. The youth of today are leaders of tomorrow. Youth is the power of the nation. Youth are the future of the world. In their hands lie the decision that will shape the future of the world in the coming years. So my topic for today is youth, an undying enthusiasm for a positive change. The desire, the dedication, the hunger, the high-level energy, the optimistic attitude what the youth has can actually make a huge difference. The youth can actually do anything, even with their phone or through social media.
That is the education. That has to be there. Even nowadays, the students are becoming day by day more artificial. They are just coming to college and
Good morning everyone, my name is Preetham. I am studying BTech Chemical Engineering at Usmania University. So what is education in my view? Education in my view is something which helps us to bring the inner feeling that is already existing in us. And a good teacher has to work in such a way that how a good sculpture works. How a good sculpture works is that he does not make something beautiful out of a waste thing. He brings out the waste things in order to make it beautiful. But now, the present day education system, how the most of the teachers are how most of the institutions are inculcating in the students is that the materialistic ideas. What is that? Is that